Did you all hear the coach of Angola talking about playing them on the news last night? He was so funny. He's like, we would like to lose by 30. You know, it was like, yes, then that is a victory. We lose by 30. I would like to get licked by Michael Jordan and then move on. You know, they are expecting. That's a victory for them. This is a great team.
This is a great team. Every time you look around when we have to practice functions, and you look around and you see all this great talent, you go, this is incredible. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and instead of playing Angola, they should air one of those horse games y'all play. Because those are incredible. They play horse. Tell them.
Oh, this was incredible. One day we wanted to shoot around just to get loose. And Coach Daly was just telling us, just get loose, just do some shooting. Of course, you know, you got some competitive guys out there. So Michael, Magic, Scotty, myself, Chris Mullen, we decided we're going to just shoot around, and more competitive it became. So it's kind of like a game of horse, but it wasn't really horse.
Yeah.
It was just follow me, see if you can do what I can do.
Yeah.
And it was great. We had a lot of fun with it.
Who did really well? It's to shoot behind Chris Mullen.
Oh, it was incredible. You pick a guy.
Yeah.
Pick and choose.
How did Jordan do?
Jordan was, he did pretty good. I tell you who was the best.
Who?
Magic was the best. Couldn't touch it. We were just getting loose, though. So.
Yeah. Check that out. Now, before this whole Dream Team thing came about, you all were enemies. I've seen the guys you're playing with in battle with you. I've seen you knock some of them to the ground and get knocked to the ground, you know?
Well, it's very competitive. And, you know, when you're playing for your different teams, you're trying to do whatever you can to win. But you want to keep it fair and you want to keep it legal. Yeah. I think when you play together, although there's been a lot of competition amongst the players, I think you can, everybody's civil enough to come out and compete on the same level when you're on the same team. So
you all are bonding well now, pairing off, hanging out?
It's been a lot of fun. I think first there was a little tension because, you know, a couple of the guys knew each other really well. For the most part, no one hardly knew anybody really well. And so there's some amount of tension the first couple of days, and everybody was pretty quiet, except Charles.
I love Charles, though, man. I love Charles Barkley. I want to be the Charles Barkley of late-night TV. I love him.
He's incredible.
Yes, he is.
He had one quote that I really, really liked, and it was the funniest quote I ever heard in my life.
What?
He said, by the time, well, you know, he's recently been traded to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, and he's happy.
He says, by the time I leave Phoenix, they're going to have a Martin Luther King holiday.
When I came up there, I got up there twice to Portland. Wonderful country up there, nice people. They go crazy when somebody even say, not even Clyde, you can say Clyde, and they go nuts. Did the guys tell you about that? Because they would go nuts.
They were giving me a hard time the whole week, and those guys are relentless. And Portland's a great city to have something of that nature. A tournament like that can be well received in a city like Portland, and it couldn't have picked a better place. I may be a little biased, but I really had a great time.
Yeah. Who's the second best golfer? Because I know you all have been doing a little bit of that.
Yeah, I tell you, a lot of good golfers. I'm assuming
Michael's the first best because he does it a lot.
Well, I think Michael's pretty good. Probably thinks he's the best. But there's something, as you well know, everybody can probably talk a better game than they can really play. Yeah. So that's the fun of it.
Who does the caddy stuff?
I tell you what, we had one of the most expensive caddies you could ever imagine. Irvin Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah, because he really ain't into it.
No, he just wanted to be the driver. Yeah. He wanted to drive around and check out the golf courses. And it's a great way to relax and just have quiet conversation with friends.
Who was that thought that golf courses was like a waste of space?
I tell you, this is a funny quote, too. You'll love this. Carl Malone. Carl Malone. Of course, Carl's from the country, and he likes things that are from the country. And, and when he looks at a golf course, he says, that's a waste of pasture land.
After the game was over?
Well, you go to your room, and of course, you're very frustrated. We had several opportunities, and you just felt you just missed an opportunity. And so what you think about are things that you could have done better, or things that you should have done better. And just kind of a long, sleepless night.
Yeah. What would you do different if all over again?
Yeah, we tried several things different. It's just one of those things where you got to give the other team credit. They played a great game. We felt like we had many opportunities, but they were the better team, and you just got to give those guys credit.
Yeah. Now, on the way back from Portland, you know I get a lot of inside tea. And he apparently said everybody, I guess even Barkley, I think, made a joke about the comment that Portland wasn't a smart team or something like that. And I guess after it was over, y'all could joke about it and everything. But how did that start, and where did it come from?
I really don't know. Our team has been successful, very successful the past 3 seasons. We've been to the NBA Finals 2 out of the last 3 years. And so for someone to come up with a saying that our team is not intelligent, to me, that's a racist statement.
Was it a journalist?
I really don't know who made it up.
Yeah.
I just think you go by the success of the team, and the team has had a lot of success. Yeah. I don't think there are any rocket scientists in the NBA, period. Yeah. So you kind of wonder where those things evolved from.
Yeah, especially when you're like the number 2 team. If you're the number 2 team in the NBA, you're still successful just because you didn't go all the way. You know, I think that's like a terrible thing to call anybody a loser, especially when you're the number 2, you know?
Exactly. It's kind of like...
And to blame it on intellect. And I think the guy with no intellect and no jumper, you know, never played the game.
I know, but whoever it is, it shouldn't start vicious rumors. But whatever the case may be, people are going to say what they want, and you just have to go on. I think some things that are valid, you give them some consideration, and you do the best you can with them. But some things that are just ridiculous, I don't think you give them much thought. It's kind of like they're faulting you for being the best that you can be and coming up short. And I don't think that's what this country is all about.
Yeah. What's the toughest part about being an athlete at your level?
The toughest part is perhaps the scheduling. Physically, it's very demanding. That's probably the toughest part, because you don't get a chance to do as much as you would like with your family, because your schedule is just all over the place. And that's one of the drawbacks. But being a professional athlete, it's very, very first few. So you don't complain when you make it. I think it's like any other job. You do the best you can while you can, and have a lot of fun. I think afterwards, if it gets too much for you, then retire.
Yeah, because when I come in the locker room, I'm always amazed. See you all perform, and you perform. It's amazing to walk in the locker room and see everybody with ice on places and people in tubs, and it's like, and these guys were flying 3 seconds ago, you know. I guess that's the way you maintain.
Exactly. A lot of that is preventive maintenance, and a lot of guys ice up right after you've got through competing, so that you can reduce the amount of swelling that your joints are going to go through. And it's good preventive maintenance. Yeah. And some guys really need it. Yeah. they can use it. Ice bags are everywhere. Yeah. So it's just individual as well.
Who was your idol when you were a kid and you watched NBA games?
I tell you, I love basketball, and I still do to this day. Perhaps some of my favorite players were probably yours. Oscar, Dr. J.
Yeah. Yeah.
West.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Yeah. You know how when you're on the court as a kid and everybody assumes a name, you know, like it's Julius to the hole, you know, it's like, who did you want to be?
Julius, without a doubt. You tell me Julius Irving. We would have had a problem with that. Yeah. But it was great. I think he was a great role model, not only because he was talented on the court, but he seemed like just a real nice guy off the court. And I thought that was very important.
Very well. Is it a lot of pressure?
And there's a certain amount of pressure, but I think as an athlete who's highly visible, I think the best thing that I can tell the kids in the community and around the country are the best role models are your parents, people you see every day.
Here, you were actually, now this is hard to imagine, you were a chubby kid when you were little?
You know, that comes from people just assuming that all athletes were born that way, natural. And it's kind of like, if you're born chubby and you had to work for every result that you ever achieved, and it just kind of gets to me when people say, well, he was born that way. It's natural. Everything he does is natural. That implies that you haven't worked hard. And that, you know, that kind of gets under my skin. Yeah. And when I tell people that story, I always tell them I was a chubby kid, and I really had to work for everything I've achieved.
Yeah. But, yeah. You have worked hard. Not only you underestimate yourself and your peers when you say there are no rocket scientists. You all are very bright to understand the game the way you do and do what you do. As a matter of fact, when you look at guys like yourself, all the way to Larry Bird, I mean, Larry Bird's a better ball player because he's a smart ball player, and don't listen to these guys, man, because you ain't out there to make rockets. You know what you do, and they know what they do, you know? Don't underestimate that.
Exactly. The game is fun, and you gotta work hard.
I've seen the blackboard in there. I look and I say, y'all got to know all this, you know, and I'm looking, and it's like, this is deep. And you have to understand it, and you all are scouting and looking at films and remembering things, and the best are bright.
I agree with that 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Come back anytime.